really loving to come back home and translate the trends for women. So I was born in San Jose, small town, and whenever I travel on tour, I realized when I came home, everybody was always dying to find out fashion tips, like how did I make Christina Aguilera have her makeup on for so long, how does Alicia Keys, you know, keep her look, all that stuff. And I learned that I love teaching. Like, women love secrets and they love looking to celebrities because that bubble really looks like, you know, it looks so amazing, not realizing there's a team behind it. So as soon as I started doing that, I started working at MAC Cosmetics for 6 years as a trainer. And MAC really took on and started saying, oh my gosh, we realize you're really good at public speaking, like this is good, maybe we should get some television involved. So I started doing television work with Good Morning Sacramento, doing presentations. And then honestly, I had like a really cool epiphany where I saw that I loved helping people and I loved connecting with one-on-ones, but television started, you know, I started getting like crazy letters from these news channels that were like, oh my gosh, we had these writers, like, or these people writing us letters about you and asking more questions. So at the time there was no internet, there was no blog, I couldn't follow back with them. And I figured television is an amazing outlet to speak to people on a much bigger level. And of course I love Oprah. Oprah and Ellen DeGeneres are two of my biggest idols. So I thought, you know what, I want to create a huge movement with what I'm doing to empower women. And I also saw that behind stages with Christina Aguilera and Alicia Keys, I was helping out with fashion to bring the makeup together, more so than the stylists themselves. So I started to think, okay, you know what, I love fashion as a whole. I love style, I love dressing to impress. I'm gonna bring that into a whole besides just makeup. So I made my first reel. I actually went and took a ghetto camera and went to like clubs, I went to parties, anywhere where there's a picnic table with lots of people. I sat down and talked to them. I sat down and asked, what is it about you're wearing that you love or hate? What is it about your body that you absolutely love? I'm gonna teach you some tips on it. Put together a reel. Literally told my parents, who, by the way, Asian parents are not gonna like that you wanna do anything on television. They wanted me to do anything in math or law, and that wasn't happening at all. And so, packed up $238, my car, and all of my belongings, and moved to LA because I was determined to get signed and to rock myself out. So when I got to LA, I didn't have a laptop or internet or anything like that. I went to a phone book, literally. It was outside the Starbucks on La Brea and Sunset. And I went to the phone book, I remember putting it on my pants, and I started flipping through it, and I thought, okay, agency, I gotta, like, the best agency has like the biggest ad, right? So it's the most expensive one, you know? And I found William Morris, like, big ad. And I thought, okay, what's the address? Let's look this up. Drive down to William Morris, park on the outside, got my first fatty ticket of $250 because the entire street for William Morris is their own street and it's all like a fire lane. You're not allowed to park there. I pulled over like I was VIP, parked my car, ran inside, and literally like sat there waiting to get a meeting made. And the receptionist was like, you are kind of I mean, you don't have an appointment and nobody here knows there's no way you can sit and wait for an appointment. You kind of have to know people to get in. And I thought, you know what, I know I'm supposed to be here. I came here, I'm going to wait, so if anybody has a cancellation, just let me know. So I sit down and I basically just wait. And a couple hours goes by. I see Molly Sims, I see Harrison Ford, and I also saw another, oh gosh, the comedian, Margaret Cho. And I was like, oh my God, this is kind of major. Like, I don't understand why all these people are here, but this is huge. And I had with me my little VHS tape and a headshot, which I thought at the time, I didn't know, I just read that you're supposed to have a headshot. It was a Polaroid picture of my head. My head. Like literally, I looked like I looked like an alien because it was just a big piece of my head and a big smile. So I was sitting there. Long story short, 2 hours went by, and I kept waiting. Wanda Sykes comes in and sits down, and she takes a look at my headshot, and she's like, excuse my French, don't quote this, but she's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, it's my headshot. I want to become a television host, so I brought my stuff. And she's like, honey, that's ugly. You are, wait, who told you to come here? So I tell her my story, I tell her like what I want to do, I tell her even about my mom, and she gets called up and she's like, you are really cute. And she's like, I don't want you to ever lose your spark. And I said, okay, thank you so much. So she went upstairs. The receptionist said, you know what, you're gonna have to leave because I can't have you here. And I was like, please just let me, and I started just trying to get her to let me wait a little bit. No joke, within a couple minutes later, the phone rings and she says, yeah, she's still sitting here. I don't, okay, sure, I'll send her right up. I get set up and I go up to, I don't remember which floor it was, but I remember running out, I was so excited, and I walk into the office and I see Wanda Sykes sitting right there next to her agent, I guess, telling me, see, she's really cute. Take a couple minutes to hear her story. And I was taking a